السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أيها الطلاب الكرام. اليوم سنأخذ الدرس التاسع الجزء الأول. Today we're going to take lesson 9 part 1. Page 47. You turn to page 47 on your book and you see the first sentence. It says من هذا الرجل. من هذا الرجل. هذا واضح. مفهوم. This is clear. It's understood. هو عباس. سهل. عباس تاجر. Still straightforward and easy. تاجر is a merchant. عباس تاجر غني. Now we have a 3-word sentence. عباس تاجر غني. ما معنى غني؟ غني معناه rich, wealthy. But how do we identify what's happening in the sentence? Remember when we said we're going to start learning how to describe nouns? عباس تاجر غني. Okay? If you just look here, Abbas tajirun, the sentence is sound. Abbas is a merchant. Mubtada. And this one would simply be khabar. Easy. Ma hada. What's this? This is going to be called sifat. صفة والصفة من التوابع. So this is the khabar, but it's also the mawsoof, right? The thing that you're describing. So now we've categorized everything. Abbasun is mubtada, dhammatain. What's it called? Mubtada is always marfu'. Khabar, always marfu'. It could be a sentence, a partial sentence, or a single word. So, where's the marfu' here? Dhammatain. Where's the marfu' here? Dhammatain. What does a sifa do? Remember we said it's one of the tawabi', one of the followers? The tawabi' means it's going to follow whatever this is. If this was kasratain, he would be kasratain. If this was fathatain, he would be fathatain. And if this is dhammatain, he's dhammatain. He'll do whatever the mawsoof is doing. Okay? But he has 4 conditions that must be met, or he must have, so that he can be considered a sifa. 1, the i'rab is the same, or the state that this is in must be the state that that one is in. So we're going to say the state is the same. Okay? If this is dhammatain, this is dhamm, or if this is dhammatain, that has to be dhammatain. If this is ma'rifah, he must be ma'rifah. If this is nakira, this must be nakira. Okay? So we're going to put definite and indefinite. That's number 2. Actually, we should just be saying in Arabic. So over here, hala, that's the status, right? Over here, it has to say ma'rifah and nakira. Definite, indefinite. Okay? If this has alif and lam, here should be alif and lam. No alif and lam here, no alif and lam here. Okay? Then we have التذكير والتأنيث. ثاء. There. Gender. If it's masculine here, masculine there. If it's feminine here, feminine there. Tadhkir masculine, ta'neeth feminine. All right? And finally, the jam' and mufrad. Okay? If over here is plural, over here is plural. Over here is singular, over here is singular. Okay? Jam' is plural, mufrad is singular. So, when all of those are together, this can be a sifa for that. Or that's actually what's necessary for this person. He copies the mawsuf. The sifa will copy the mawsuf in all of these. The status, meaning the fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain. The definite or indefinite. The gender, and the plural or singular. Okay? You can come up with different acronyms to help you remember that. You know, I'm sure there are some out there. Maybe we'll find some and let you guys know about it, inshallah. But for now, that's gonna be how we do i'rab for this. All right? Hamidun mudarrisun. Hamid, mudarris. واضح. The meaning is واضح. حامد مدرس جديد. Hamid is a new teacher. And that's actually another thing that is pretty confusing that we just have to point out. Let's erase this and I'll show you. It's very confusing for non-Arabs to describe things in Arabic, and it's just as it would be very confusing for Arabs to describe things in English. I'll tell you why, and we mentioned this before. We said a new teacher. Okay? Since we're going from left to right, the description new came first, right? The adjective came first. Then we had teacher, the one being described, came second. So what came first here was the description. In Arabic, since we're going right to left and not left to right, this is the beginning of the sentence. So what came first? Teacher. And this is why it's confusing. It's because in Arabic, our descriptions come second. Mudarrisun jadidun. The word jadid comes second. But over here, the description came first. So you have to remember, in Arabic, the descriptions come second. You want to say a big masjid. Look at it, a big masjid. Don't say kabirun masjidun, because that means you're putting the description first. So you say masjidun kabirun. First identify the word or identify the object, then describe it. Qalamun saghirun. Okay? Always make sure you identify it first, then describe it. That's how it works in Arabic. Okay? Descriptions. Identify the object or person, then describe it. And that's the same thing also whenever something belongs to someone else. You want orange juice. What's the word for juice? Identify the object. Asir. Okay? The word for juice is asir. And now you want to describe it. Orange. Burtuqalin. Asiru burtuqal. In English, you'd say orange juice. But over here, we're reading right to left, so you're actually saying juice orange. All right? So for descriptions and mudafun ilay, it works this way. All right. Let's continue. Hamidun mudarrisun jadidun. Hamid is a new teacher. Ma hadha. Hadha tuffahu. Right? Hadha tuffah. Here it says this is an apple. التفاح فاكهة لذيذة. التفاح فاكهة لذيذة. Here there's an introduction of something in which you describe a plural غير عاقل, like non-rational or irrational, as a feminine singular. And this will come up later on, but for now we're just going to take it that how you describe tufah, because tufahatun is singular, tufahatun with a ta at the end, and tufah is plural actually. So now we have a plural, non-intellectual or irrational object, right? How do we describe it? Well, you're going to describe it in the singular feminine. Okay? It's kind of unique why they introduced that here, but inshallah ta'ala, once we get into describing, we want to do first describe masculine objects, then feminine objects, then we describe ones that go out of the norm. Okay? So for now, tufah is a plural, and we describe plurals, non-aqil or غير aqil, as singular feminine. And that's why it says فاكهة لذيذة. Apples are delicious fruit, right? ما ذلك. What is that? And remember we said ذلك is used for masculine, and tilka, I'm not sure if we really pushed on that, but tilka is that, but for feminine. ما ذلك, what is that? ذلك عصفور. ذلك عصفور. What's a عصفور? A عصفور is a small bird. It's sometimes translated as a finch, sometimes translated as a sparrow. Okay, so you can say it's a sparrow or a finch, either one is fine. ذلك عصفور. العصفور طائر صغير. All right, we have a description here. Let's take a look at the description. طائر صغير. العصفور طائر صغير. Okay, عصفور, and sometimes it's pronounced عصفور, just depending on different places where they're from. This means a sparrow. Now the word طائر, and that's really why I wanted to write this, was because طائر means flyer, which is supposed to mean bird. طائر is flyer, okay, bird. It's not طائرة with a ta. Sometimes people get that confused. طائرة, if this is there, it means airplane. If طائرة is there, it means airplane. العصفور طائر, oh, this is wrong. صغير, okay? And here is small. The sparrow is a small bird. That's how we describe in English. العصفور طائر صغير. The sparrow is a small bird, that way. Okay? مبتدأ خبر, because the sentence would make sense if you just said العصفور طائر. It's a bird. But you want to describe it, here's the صفة, and the khabar is the mawsuf, is what's being described. Last one, العربية لغة سهلة. I didn't agree with this when I was learning it. It says العربية لغة سهلة. Arabic is an easy language. I really didn't agree with it in the beginning. The Arabic was an easy language. But after me grasping the foundations of it, the rules afterwards make sense. I'll say that. The rules afterwards make sense. But I will say it's the richest language that is out there. Richest as it being so amazing how rhythmic and poetic it can be. So, al-Arabiyyatu, Arabic, lughatun sahla. What is the sifa and where is the mawsuf here? So al-Arabiyya, what is that? That's the mubtada. Lughatun. Are we describing the language are we describing Arabic as being a language? No. That's what's being said about it. Arabic is a language. Good. And then we have the word sahla in there. Easy. Oh, we're describing the language as being easy, right? So you have al-Arabiyyatu, lughatun, sahlatun. Arabic is an easy language. And you can tell that the sifa, the sahla, is not describing the Arabic word because otherwise it would have had L in there. It doesn't have L. It has no L, so that's why it's describing the language itself. All right? We'll stop here, inshallah ta'ala, and there's a lot more to describe about it. This lesson will be mostly about na'at and man'ut, and we'll probably spend about 5 or 6 lessons on it, perhaps. We'll try to move through it as quickly as we can. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإلى اللقاء والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.